Welcome back everybody into a weekly backtesting review. So as you can see already from the title, this is the review after being backtesting for 2 months. I mean, I did it in a weekend, but I backtested 2 months starting from June down until August 2022 on EurUsd. And the main theme of this was like, okay, I do my analysis pre-New York, I chart up my PSAs, as you can see here, sell, 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 sell below, just to only buys above this level, just to train my mind and gain confidence about having a single bias session and sticking to that bias. So I wanted to have a confidence of entering, and what we're going to see is about setups and of course if it's profitable or not, and what is actually required for me into the live trading to take advantage of this move on EurUsd compared to the one that I used to backtest, which was gold. So the pair moves quite differently, and the scalp is quite different as well. So it's let's jump into it, and we're going to see it day by day. So as you can see here already, we see that the price is moving bearish, is actually making lower highs and lower lows. This is the last higher high, making a new lower low and a new lower high, making a new lower low. So I am therefore expecting multiple rejection areas where the price can actually still make on the high time frame a new lower high, or this can already be a lower high and then a continuation down. Remember that as a scalper, I'm taking advantage of small price movements. I'm looking for mainly for a 5 pips stop loss, 10 pips TP, which is the main thing. Of course, it can be changed. It can be adapted into a maybe 4 to 8 pips stop loss and TP or whatever. So let's jump into it and let's see. Don't bother too much about this. What I'm looking at, okay, so you can see that this is the first PSA of interest. I think now there was some fundamental news, but what I want to say, okay, price is reaching our PSA of interest. I let the dust to settle because it's I probably, due to this spike in volatility, there's quite a big report. As you're going to see, we have the top and the rejection of the PPL candle close. We're closing below my PSA of interest. That's my entry. So in this case, it's a candle closure after price dipped a little bit up and then topping the PPL, going bearish again. Then later on, this is my 10 pip, I would say 10 pip TP. I want to take the continuation sells, and this will be a loss. This will be a loss, but only simply because price goes 5 pips in profit, and this is a 5 pips TP. This should have gone 1-to-1, tapping a 15-minute strong PSA. That will be put to break even. So this loss should have been a break even trade. Then again, when I see the pullback of this bearish move ending here, making a double top, that's where I take my entry. And again, my entry is at the candle close, and yeah, there's another one that should be at break even. We are now shifting into, that's another topic, we're now shifting into the resistance turning support. So maybe I don't enter here, I don't just stick to this sell. I mean, this is definitely a 5 pips, so this should be a break-even trade. But look at this size, that's where I think I should probably adapt into buys. Looking at the double bottom at a strong PSA, my strong PSA was a sell area, now is very likely to be turning into resistance. But again, if I just want to stick to sells, then okay. As you can see here, we have a bounce up and a rejection of PPL, a new lower low being created, and then a new lower high with the rejection of my PSA. I don't know why I didn't actually take this entry, but this is the rejection of my area. After, of course, dipping a little bit higher, just because it is the way it is more likely to tap the PPLs like here, than simply my PSAs in the middle of the range. So especially maybe it's something that I should be note that I need to really focus more on the PPLs than simply PSA. As you can see here, we have this candle showing us strength coming back into it, closing below our PSA, and that's where I could have taken another continuation sells. What I ended up doing is taking these sells below the other PSA. I don't know if now here I was probably scared of this aggressive bullish action. So that's also why, okay, if I shift into bullish price action over here, taking advantage of this double bottom, then I will be looking for buys above this level. So probably I will love to enter buys. So that's why it's good to stick to a single sell bias for the session unless I'm proven wrong and we go above this level. If we go above here, then I would take buys. But this is of course a miss sells. Maybe after 2 losses, I was a little bit scared about it. I don't know, especially 3 losses. So that's it, the way it is. Here I will take another sell for because it's the main bias. It's the sell below this level, and again further rejection, candle close, another sell down for 10 pips. Here could have entered exactly at this level, especially with the candle closure exactly at the level. So what we can see is let's make a note. Let's make a note on the side. Notes 1, PPL reacts better than middle of the range. 2, don't shift bias. You will lose further opportunities. Okay, and then we're going to see with the other ones. So let's now go back into the next day. So this one is a profitable day. We're going to see that because now this is a not really relevant backtesting, because of course I could go back in time. So if I saw this price action, I would stop and go back and say, yeah, this was my PSA of interest, so I should have entered over there. For example, if we just think about this, what is the rule number 1, the note number 1, as you can see here, I could have entered exactly at this candle because it's the continuation below, and then it's the retest of the PPL. This would have been a nicer scalp and then a continuation scalp. But let's go continue, because it's just the first day. Otherwise, it's going to take a couple hours. So again, now Monday, we're coming on Monday, same ideas. I'm looking for sells below this level, below this order block, or at the retest of this order block and PPL. PPL here, and only buys above 1.07514 ish. Now as you can see, when the PSA matches the PPL, it's way better. Even here, yes, all these lows, but it should actually matter the PPL much better. As you can see here, I will say that I don't know about the timing, but as you can see, only sells playing. I will say that this is exactly okay. This is the candles. Okay, so price went immediately in our direction. We had a strong candle closing below, so that's where I will just simply take the sells as per pre-planned area. As you can see here, probably for the same reason, if the trade is 1-to-1, this would probably be I don't know. If the stop loss is dynamic, so the stop loss is just above this candle, then I don't think it's a 2-to-1. Probably it would be a break-even trade in reality. Here, this one would probably be a break-even over here, not even here. and then I will simply wait. Okay, now here we are rejecting again our PSA, giving you multiple occasions for entering exactly at the highs, and that's where I should have re-entered in the case that this one would go on to break even. So this is the continuation bearish, huge candle confirmation as well, and let me cancel this. So as you can see here, that's where your price gave you created accumulation before going back down. Below here, we saw next PPL, so the continuation in the bias is a sell bias, multiple candle confirmation closing at the level. As you can see now, this is a very nice candle confirmation because it's exactly closing with a small wick. It's like this green candle. So let me just zoom in. As you can see here, like this green candle over here can show you it's quite a setup that we're going to see a little bit during the whole backtesting. It's quite a common theme, and yeah, that's basically it. So I took another scalp, same bias, shift, same sell bias, just below the PPL. Then again, 75% of retracement working out perfectly. This candle entry or this green candle entry for the continuation on the sell bias. The TP is actually matching the previous lows. So even if we had a double bottom, we would have a nice TP hit. Then continuation below. I could wait for just for this candle or wait a little bit more. Remember that this pair is not gold, so it's not simply flying like if it was NFP. So there's no real rush about it. Just entering and then taking the TP, double bottom somewhere, and then continuation. As you can see here, I could have shifted. Okay, I want to now double bottom. Let me look for buys anyway. But okay, no, I want to stay clear, and we see that the price is aggressively simply coming and getting a pullback to these previous highs. This was, of course, would be the best high ball entry because the candle is closing at the PSA, but it's quite hard to enter over there. And yeah, you enter, you have a double top. This could have been, if this one was a break-even trade, this one will be another confirmation for the continuation down for more than 10 pips. You can see price rejected and went all the way back down here. So let me cancel this. Continuation down. As you can see now, also pullback and possible continuation down after making a new low. 5 to 10 pips profit, one bias, and looking for pullback entries, avoiding the multiple bias confirmation. Okay, because then you are bullish. You can place, maybe you place a Fibonacci from here to there. This is 75%, and you want to look for buys and you take a loss. So that's just creating a lot of mess in your head. Tuesday. So remember that now I'm risking I think now I was risking 1% a trade, and later I will risk 2% a trade. Again, now still on a very bearish bias, we can see and identify the multiple areas where the price made some order blocks. So you can see here is in the middle of the range. This one is matching a PPL. This one is a little bit in the middle of the range, or the continuation down below. Okay, so now because I know that I will delete that by mistake, I'm adding them on a notepad. So also candle setup and entry exactly at the PL/area. Price could still go a little beyond, but you are giving the trade the best chance. Otherwise, simply enter a couple of times. That's also something that I will. That's something that will come up later on because it's something that is it's very, very present. So let's move this over there and continue. So I was only looking for sells this whole session. As you can see here, it was quite hard, I would say. Let's beep stop loss. You need to accept taking losses because as you can see here, now doing this backtesting, I can review and pause and go back, but in real time, no. So let's see. At first, I took the sells. Probably this one I took it after rewinding, so I don't really like about it. But as you can see here, okay, let's say price making a double bottom. I'm not shifting bias. Price is making a continuation. I don't care. I'm only looking for sells. I don't know if on the left hand side we have a PSA. Probably we have this PSA. So that's where I could see this area being validated as a rejection without tapping the PPL and the PSA. But you have further confirmation. I don't know what that just did, but you have further confirmation here below with the candle rejecting the area, closing below, and then giving you a nice scalp. Then we have a possible continuation. I don't know what I'm doing. We have a possible continuation here, but the price is failing after entry, goes 5 pips, makes a new low, but it fails to make a new go to my target. So that will be a break even probably over here. And okay, I don't know why, but yeah, this is a break even trade. Then we see a double bottom, strong double bottom. As you can see here, there's no real candle confirmation at our lows. There's no sign of entering. For example, for this, okay, candle setup and enter at the PPL area, price goes, you're giving the best opportunity. So should I enter at this candle? That's quite rough, I would say. In a live trading, yes, maybe that's 50-60%. So in live trading, that's where I should have entered, but it's quite sketchy, I would say. And yeah, now I took a loss over here. That's because we have 3 candles rejecting it and showing you weakness in the buyers. So that would have made sense here. There was no, probably a single candle, not tap, not a good confirmation, unless it's really clearly there's a real clear bias or something. So I took my loss after a break even and after a couple of wins. Then we continue bullish. I don't change my mind. I don't change bias. So here I should have entered sells again, probably. I don't know. But then, okay, we just move up. The pullback was higher, so I take sell when you have the candle rejecting and closing below our next PSA. This is a 10 pips TP, and this by itself, this win overcomes this one loss and the possible further loss. But if I took this one, if I didn't take this one and it would have gone, then I would have missed an opportunity. It's just outguessing the system. So that's why it's quite sketchy. Then when we react over here, that's where I understood that we are 50% retracement of the whole bullish move. It's not really nice, but you can see in the price action, and you can see that this was a strong PSA, strong resistance that is now turning into a support. So that's why where you could understand a shift of bias, and that's where I took my buy over here. Not really liking it, but I don't know, maybe the price action is so strong that I should not really just stick to the bias and not look at the market structure, because the market structure is not being broken. With such a bullish price action, the market structure is broken. It's not bearish anymore. So that's where I can take advantage of it. As a scalper, I should be adaptive and flexible on it. first buys and then continuation buys. That's because of the shift in market structure. As I said, on the lower time frame, that's where we are seeing a strong shift in market structure. Now then we see a top of these same previous highs, we enter buys and we go at break even because probably we don't reach the 10 pips. And now we are coming back down. Again, and it's the shift in bias after the overall higher time frame at 50% over here. And the balance, I don't know. Okay. Next day, after all, probably after this all move, now we are shifting into bullish bias for dollar weakness or whatever. So I'm only looking for buys. Price has been very structured all the way during the London. So yeah, that's very, very bullish. So there's no reason to look for sells. I will only look for buys, PPL, and areas. So let's see what actually happens. As you can see, this was the PSA. So we have the first little bit of a deeper pullback. So let me see. Okay, we were at the top. So there were no signs over here for a possible entry, bullish entry. There was no signs. There was some signs here. We're probably taking a loss with this deeper pullback. But then, okay, there's a deeper pullback. When I see the change and shift in momentum, we can also see here we have this bearish candle. This is the setup that I was showing you. A bearish candle that is actually giving you the entry for the bullish side because of this weak rejection. And that's I think it's like an 8 pips stop loss, 6-7 pips stop loss. We have a huge PSA and order block on the left hand side, so it's good to be safe, to take care of it, to take into consideration. But still, the bullish bias is not changed. I'm not looking for sells or anything. So we have another tap of the PPL. More than the PSA, as you can see, the PPL is giving us more reaction, cleaner reaction, as it happened over here. And yeah, now the price is actually making higher highs and higher lows. We identify it as a trend line. Yes, we have some reaction, but I'm not looking for sells at this area, especially because we can identify that the sellers are getting weaker and weaker. And we have this bearish candle confirmation, multiple confirmation at the top of our PSA, and then the trend line because we are continuation bullish. So then we take our first TP on the breakout of the order block, and then another trend line matching entry at the first candle confirmation. This goes 5 pips and then goes to break even. That's very good. This reiterates that the PPLs are giving us more, giving us better entries than the simple PSA. But yes, as I was saying, another the PSA now extended is just giving us further information. This is probably some level of a retracement. If you look at the overall bullish price action from these previous lows to this new previous high, then that's where you have the impulse move, and then that's the whole retracement. It looks like a 75% to me, or it can be a 61.8 because yeah, it's quite yeah, probably it is divided into 3. Looks like a 61.8 / 75%, when really 75% is over there. And that's why you have not changed your buys. Probably now is even late in the session. And yeah, that's where you take your entry. Multiple candle confirmation. You could have entered over here for a better risk to reward, because if you entered over there, so let's say this is your entry. You have a 5 pip stop loss that is very nice because probably covers all this level, and your TP, which is double of this size, so like this, probably it's like at the, you don't need the breakout for the TP to be hit. You just need this aggressive move, unless compared to entering over here, the stop loss is right at the candle close, and for the TP you need the price to actually break above. So that's riskier for the same risk to reward, because now the price can go back from here, can go into your win. So what does it change? Nothing. You're only giving you, okay, you enter here and the price simply goes, okay, that's okay, but I have to take it because it gives me the best risk to reward when I'm actually right. And I know that after with proper backtesting, I know that I will be right most of the time, or enough times for 2-to-1 risk to reward system to win over time. As you can see, this was probably during London. There was some big news, and we saw a spike up. So I was looking. This is quite sketchy. I was looking for buys at these levels and only sells below these previous lows. Of course, I don't remember what actually happens this session. Analysis quite meh because there's some fundamental in play. I think it was somebody talking about it, like Fed or something. And let's have a look at it. So that's exactly here. We have a first stop that is pre-New York, but we have New York open in a couple of minutes, simply failing to make new lows. That was my first entry, I would say, at the retest of these previous lows, failing to break. That's why you could have had, this is like a 6, 7, 8, and this is like a 10 pips TP, because as you can see, the PPL of 12 pips is quite narrow. And then simple continuation bullish. You have a new high being printed. I'm not shifting into sells. That's very important, because now I'm able to focus on, okay, this was the order block, this previous order block. You can see the price action here. We are retesting the PPL and we are retesting the area, candle confirmation for possible continuation bullish. Now, even if it don't break up, that's still TP being hit, so that's good to go. Then for the confirmation, it will be a pullback and retest of this area. And again, you see the reaction is probably meh, because there is no tapping of the area. So this entry is quite shit. But then deeper pullback, another tap of this previous PSA. You enter at a candle rejection. If you don't enter exactly there, probably very fast, you still take your 10 pips. And even if then the price continues to drop, having a 5 pips to 10 is still very nice. You can still take your profits, or at least be at break even if the price is going on the opposite way. Sticking to the same bias again, bullish, candle closing at the PPL after tapping this bullish price action. And that's where buys still for more than 10 pips. Then we break, not really, as you can see, the break is not very nice. It's not consistent. It's not a break like here or a break like this one. This break below this area is not nice. So that's where this is a win. As you can see here, the PPL reacts better than the area in the middle of the range. This is actually a PPL, so that's I don't know what I'm saying, but again, there's no clear. But anyway, it's a loss and it's fine. The important part is understanding that after this bearish move, we have the retracement ending like a 75% retracement, and that's where we could have entered more further sells at the strong rejection and closing below the PPL for the continuation sells. Again, now moving further, we have the CPI. Again, this is there, for example, and I'm going to move a little bit faster. Candle setup for the continuation sells. This was the first one. This was quite rushed, as you can see. It's about not waiting for the retest area, so it's not really advisable. But first entry, that's good. 10 pips is gone, and then continuation sells. I don't know if it makes actually sense. This entry, I don't think it makes much sense, but yay. Then what we have is the continuation below this PPL, so we are making lower highs and lower lows. So when we are breaking below the PPL and breaking below these previous lows, we have this bullish candle, which is actually the setup that I'm talking about. As you can see here, this candle over here is very bullish, but look at the rejection, and it's actually closing at the PPL on EurUsd. Is something that is happening a lot, and that's where you could have entered and then taking your 10 pips, 8 to 10 pips TP. Again, then further continuation. I don't know what this, if this was, I don't know if this one was a sell. I will say that is a sell. But yeah, after that, the price action is getting a little bit messier. Break even, a small win, I would say, because the price is breaking below. We have a double top being created, 1, 2, and breaking below the PPL for a quick scalp. This would have been a nice entry again. I don't know now what is this retracement. Okay, I don't know. No, it's not even 50%, I would say. Yeah, it's very close to be 50% of a retracement. You have multiple confirmation, but we are closing, staying below this level of this previous lows. So that will be high risk, high reward entries. I don't know what about this. I don't know about this. And yeah, for the sells, the stop loss should be above here. I don't know if this one was up 5 pips, but yeah, that's not working out. And then I have multiple confirmation for price to enter into the same bias. So we have, for example, if you look at it, we have this PSA, these lows being created, and this wedge or flag being created over here. So when you have this candle, which is actually the setup that I'm talking about, this candle closing the way it is, that's a possible good entry for the continuation sells, because it's closing exactly at the area of interest. So that's where we could have taken further continuation of this candle. I mean, it's rare that EurUsd simply went with one candle closing too far away. So maybe that's a small candle, and you can enter here with the stop loss above here to take target or down there to the next PPL. You see first some reaction, you have some reaction below, and that's why you take. That's why I'm looking for the retracement of this overall bearish move from these previous highs. This is a 75% retracement on the dot, 2 candles confirmation, even third one, and that's why you can take your 10 pips TP. Okay, so we had also fundamentals, CPI, and blah blah blah, yada yada yada. Sell side, we have a rejection. You can see here that we have the PPL is giving more nicer reaction than the actual PSA, but you can take the confirmation at the PSA for the entry. In the future, I would like to enter over there, seeing that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 taps, 6 failures to break above. That's why I would like to enter sells and take advantage of this move. And again, also this one is price is making a new lower high. If I don't take this one, still I should take this one. Now that I'm looking at it, we are making a wedge, and that's actually a very nice entry. Same candle setup, but I mean, now we are in the middle of the range. If now price goes back above, I say, yeah, why didn't I wait to sell at my PSA? So that actually makes sense. But yeah, it's a very nice candle confirmation, this one, now that we are reviewing it, and that I was talking about, and talking about the flag. So remember, just repeating it, this pattern of, okay, price is failing to make new lows, but is even failing to make new higher highs. So maybe you don't enter here, even if it was, this is the best entry because it's exactly at your PSA. You also have further confirmation here. My entry was at the breakout, which I don't really like. So that's, after that, that's the only best entry, because we are now seeing new lower lows being printed, and now we have a double rejection at my PPL, which can give me further entry over here. Now then, confirmation. Now I saw that EurUsd, when it's trending, is trending nicely. It's just retapping previous PSA, sometimes a little bit higher, deeper, but multiple candle confirmation for entering and then betting on the breakout. Then again, I mean, this could be easily a 50% retracement. Now you have a double bottom, you don't shift bias, and that's a 75% retracement very likely for possible continuation bearish. So Fibonacci retracement is actually very good. Momentum, bearish market structure developing, scalped all the real tests. PPI day, producer price index. So as you can see here, we are dipping a little bit above. I don't know if now here we had the news already, so I was betting on it. I was betting on the on this order block being created and the candle closure. You can see here multiple failures to make new highs, multiple rejection in the middle of something, and the closure below the PPL. For a quick scalp, I took another re-entry of the close below my area. As you can see here, this is a break even, but if I entered over here at the candle close, damn it, that will be a profit one. This will be a TP, not a break even. I'm wasting like 1 to 1 just waiting for the candle confirmation, and that's not good. I had multiple candle confirmation, so at this can be also considered a double top for possible entries. Then again, making a new higher low. This is another candle confirmation and further confirmation over here. So we have all the confirmation for entering sells, pullback, sells, pullback, sells, as I was saying, not shifting to a bullish bias. There's no need for. But in the past, I would be looking for buys here, buys over there, change bias, and then get stuck into this clearly bearish trend. Then here, as I just showed you, the retest of this previous PSA on the left hand side, last stop, and this is the candle. Here, as you can see, I entered. I don't know if now this is I enter sells, and I'll take a loss, but I should have re-entered over here immediately because that's the candle confirmation here. This is not enough. It doesn't make much sense. As you can see here, if you are there, it doesn't make much sense to enter over there, but maybe this one either. So then you have the confirmation of breakdown, and then you have the pullback and the continuation down. I don't like taking this entry because I'm not really a good momentum predictor, but this retracement tapping these previous lows, that's where after the closing below my area, it gives me another 10 pips scalp. So let's go back down. This was the PPI day. And we already, in a couple of weeks, we already have doubled our account, sticking to 2% and a single bias through the session. Over here, buys, sells below here. We're now in the middle of the range. Maybe we have a tap over there, or maybe a pullback, because there is no price action, much price action on this PPL, or buys only above there. As you can see, very clean market structure. Sells in continuation after the pullback. This looks like a retest, but it's, you can see here we have a very nice aggressive breakout, pullback, and then a candle closing over there for further scalps, a break-even trade, a win, and another win. Just having this area just for sales. Every time the price goes there, I'm just simply selling. Candle, real nice candle closing strongly for a possible entry. For 10 pips. Now the continuation here, that's why I don't really like taking this momentum, because that's where, for example, this one is a sell loss. I could have re-entered multiple times to make back that loss. That's a break even. Now why? After waiting all this time, there's not much of a price action or clear momentum. And let's see. Now what I'm seeing is, okay, we are making higher highs now, and we're making a wedge over there. So we have a break, another block being created over here, and now we're making higher highs after this level. I don't really like it because, as you can see, for example, I'm not able to take these sells then, That's why where I took this by understanding the shift in market structure. And yeah, it will be fine. But as you can see here, I'm missing the opportunity of taking this bearish momentum, 75% retracement, and that's my scalp. And probably price could even go further down. But still, now this entry, this kind of confirmation over here would have been for the nice quick scalp on my single bias. Now, as you can see, I'm risking 2%. Same thing, we are still in the middle of June. Price goes immediately into my direction, a bullish momentum, fundamentals, and then we are simply taking buys after buy. Let me just... Okay, as you can see here, we were taking buys after buy. And yeah, first buy after break and retest of this PSA. You can see the couple of candles giving momentum, then tapping down, and then continuation bullish. Then here another breakout, a retest of these previous lows for continuation buy, and then a higher time frame, what the all movement, and then taking 75% retracement, 61, 70% retracement, 75% retracement. Then as you can see what I was saying here, break, tap, this I should have entered over there because it's the top of the PSA, and that's what I'm expecting after the momentum has been raised and is being increased after the this full pullback, which is also exciting to the next PPL where the price action was. So not looking for sell over there, simply staying into a bullish bias and then taking every single move back up, tuck, tuck, and that's when of course now this is a very late entry, and then when this candle close, giving you confirmation, further continuation. So all the buys when the price is trending, not just one, take advantage of all the movement, because if the price is trending, that's where you can take the big wins and the big days. You can see a retest of these previous lows for the continuation up of these previous highs. Sorry, scalp over scalp at every pullback, huge day when the price is trending almost 200 pips. And then again, sell analysis on gold. As you can see, we have these first sells loss because it's too early, there's not enough price action, and again confirming that the PPL is reacting way better than the actual my PSA, that if it is in the middle of the range. So I should make a rule that I only take entry at the PPL, reaction at the PPL. So as you can see, multiple candle confirmation would have given me further entries. Below here, still price action is quite poor. And yeah, it goes to TP, but after tapping multiple times, there's not a lot of momentum, and we're now reacting in these previous lows, still sticking to a bearish bias, not looking for buys. And then we have further confirmation when this area has been retested again, and that's why it's very important to enter at the candle close, not simply waiting for the candle to close. At the previous candle close, at the first candle confirmation, and not simply over there. Then we break below, we have a pullback, this is a breakout, we have a pullback, this is where you can enter at the candle close and not here, because you're already losing 3 to 4 pips. You can enter over there to gain some more momentum. You could probably have your TP hit over there instead of over down here. So that's very good in terms of risk to reward. Then, as you can see, further confirmation when the price is trending. This one could have been my first entry, because as you can see, we are tapping and closing below these previous 1, 2, and 3 candles. And first take entry, and then this entry again. I could have taken it instead of waiting for the price action to develop. So sell scalps every time, there was an accumulation, then break it below, pullback retesting, gives multiple kind of information, and not simply spiking as gold does, leaving you there. But actually it shows you the shifting momentum for continuation bearish. It shows you This is a little bit less, but it shows you here a lot of time, many times. You're never shifting into a bullish bias because you never see a break above, or then a break above, then a break above. You simply have to act on it, and that is going to go. Now, mixed buy because we are in a bit of the range, but I was looking for buys. Stick to the buy bias, even the PSA gave multiple rejections. Buys finally played out for a couple of wins. As you can see here, we have first break even, then here we tap, we never sold. As you can see, it's a mixed buy because if you see it in retrospect, you wanted to sell at every area, but if you see it with bias, okay, enter there and went to break even. I don't know why. I think, yeah, the range is quite big now, and the price is moving in a small range, sorry. Then we have a first tap. As you can see, if this was my buy PSA, after a little bit of a dip, that's where I could have entered multiple buys. First high risk high reward, or here, this candle is closing after breaking and retesting. If I'm on a buy bias at this level, I should have taken already this first buy. Then instead I waited for price to go back above, not show any clear strength, not breaking above like this and taking stupid break and retest, but adapting and taking this entry after price gave some momentum and gained some volume. As you can see, after retesting and making a new higher low. Yeah, first entry on the buy bias, then confirm order accumulation. This was quite a risky stop loss and spike down, but went to TP. Then again, continuation bullish again here, tapping the TP, probably will have taken here or there. So as you can see, missed this entry, and yeah, that was the day that I should have taken as per pre-plan analysis. Then again, further buys. This one, there was a PSA on the left hand side, and then sticking to the buy bias. Unless I understood here that the price was rejecting it multiple times. I don't like it. I should have only stick to the buy bias. 1, 2, 3 buy bias. I don't care if this one is a win. Maybe now, after this one, yes. Now I remember that I changed this from green to red because it got very strong, so clear that, okay, it would be stupid not to see. Price is moving into a range today. It's not trending. This is a strong area, and this candle confirmation is what give me the further. Okay, let me take a scalp. I take 1, 2, 3 wins. Don't consider this one. I can risk some profits on a scalp, and yeah, if you take 10, 20, 30 pips, I can risk 5 pips on this scalp, and if actually is working out, it's better. Okay. Now we have Powell testifies, and so then we can expect multiple some spikes in volatility. Okay, so I had some sell bias over there, and then that's where I took my entry, and yeah, that's an entry. And then I took bias at my PSA, buys 3 times, 1, 2, 3 times at my PSA. Now this one, I don't know why. I don't like this entry. Expecting a breakout. I don't know why. Because yes, we are staying above these highs, but we are so close to the PPL. And then we have a huge breakup. Now we make a double top. I'm not looking for sells, so the price can easily react over there and continue down, continue bullish. So I understand that now. What I'm looking for is what price level of retracement I'm going to enter when I see some rejection, or even better, a double bottom. This one probably is very risky because the price can easily would make more sense to go back down here, but when I see a stronger rejection, that's where I could have taken this buy. Makes much more sense because it's confirmed a double bottom. This one I don't really like it because it's a 50%. It's just in a random place, it's not retesting over there. So this one is better because it's at least a double bottom. Continuation down. So sell buyers, only buys above the PPL. Quite messy, I would say, a little more indecision, and I need to shift into buys after this huge resistance turned support, as you can see here. Okay, you take your first sells, and then over here you're looking for sells. I took my sells and I got my loss. This area held as a resistance, but the first thing is that I see that now it's creating, this was a resistance, it's now being a support because we have not here, but we have a double bottom being created. So I will probably like some buys above this level, still waiting for my PSA. This is just being greedy and rushing it and just back testing. So that's why I'm making this mistake. But okay, when the price is closing over there, closing above, a retest in a single candle, that's where I could have taken my buy scalps. Then again, this is a loss after sort of a retest of the okay. Here, sort of retest of I don't know what, and yeah, probably entering over there would have been better. Would have been a break-even trade, entering at this candle close, and yeah, now understanding that this strong PSA is a huge support because it really turned into a support. After being tapped multiple times, and that's where this is probably a too risky. I'm not looking for sells over there, so that's why I don't take advantage of the sells. And if I'm taking advantage of the buys now, I took a buy over here because I was looking for buys eventually. And yeah, the main PSA, this buy can be still good, but understanding that now this buy is making it worth and making all profitable. Understanding the shift in sentiment. Okay, due to fundamentals, so that's why I shift the momentum, the bias sentiment, because of a huge shift in the fundamentals, which are very important. Into bullish bias with break and retests. I don't really like it, but after seeing price failing to break below, after seeing price more creating a bullish market structure, so that's where, okay, the sells don't work. I'm seeing 1 and 2 taps. That's where I could take further scalp buys and understand the shift in momentum. And let's see over here, especially I would like to avoid this one. I don't like it, but understand this one is absolutely good. 2 candles closing over here, so the entry would have probably been better over there if I want to enter buys. And then a continuation, this one was my original PSA for continuation buys. Now this price is coming back to my PSA. You can say, yeah, why now you're not seeing it to the bullish bias? I don't know. But as you can see, I can take a sell bias over there. So that's why this number doesn't really make sense. I'm not counting on that. Looking for buys. Every retest breaks above, pullbacks, buys. As you can see here, I have a first loss, which could probably be a break even after we see a deeper pullback and continuation bullish. Yeah, I will take this entry any day of any day. Probably entry should have been over there, over here, to take advantage of a 7-8 pips TP, probably would have been a break even instead of a loss. Why? Because, okay, we're gaining momentum, we are making a double bottom. Look at this candle. The very next one fails to engulf the previous one. If this bearish would have closed like this, I will not have, of course, consider any buy. But since it closed exactly at the PSA, that's the best entry to give me for value. The best value for my entry. Then looking for buys again, not, as you can see, not shifting into a sell bias over there, which is good, and instead coming back into the charts. Single candle, probably this second candle failing to break, that would be the best entry, and a nice scalp bounce. Could have taken now these buys as well for the same setup that I just told you. Okay, let me grab it. Yeah, for the same setup, the entry over there would have been perfect. Let me just add to the notes. Very nice entry, close to the PSA or PPL when price is coming from below, above, and the retest is a nice bullish candle, then a bearish closing exactly at the PSA, like here. So okay, let me just do it like this. That's very nice. Yeah, continuation buys, then simply sticking to the continuation buys over time. Let's see. Here, buys. Now this one would be a break even, another break even, because due to the entry, the price action is quite messy. And again, the PPL gives you way better. This would have been an entry, this would have been an entry, this one. The PPL gives you way better entries, and especially look at the price action over here. So precious. So I have to adapt. Place PSAs accordingly and enter at PPLs. Okay. Break even, and then another win after we understand that sellers were exhausting. Probably this is a 50% retracement as well, as you can see here. Yes, 50% retracement of this overall bear bullish move. So multiple possible entries at this level for the continuation up. And I think, yeah, price gives you further continuation after the next PSA, but yes, the PSA, but look at the PPL. If this PSA was exactly the PPL, would have given me much better entries, and that's rule number one for the time being. Entries at price breaking below, testing PSA, the end of the pullback, but yada yada yada. So as you can see here, as simple as that. Break below, that's textbook. Break below, retest single candle closure. Even this candle would have been way better, I would say. And yeah, retest of these previous lows. So let me do it like this. Previous candle and the PPL now. As you can see, now we are at a PPL. Look at how amazing it is, the reaction. Now in the middle, we are at this previous lows on the left-hand side. We don't have any retest over there, but we are seeing a continuation down below. This one was the previous low, so that's the area that has been retested. And then simple continuation down. You have the retest, a little bit of deeper retest, and probably like a 61.8%. I don't know why this one should not be a TP, but that's the way it is. Then another pullback exactly at the PSA. This probably is a 75% of this overall move, and continuation bearish. With the confirmation, this, of course, this one was the high ball entry, high balls. But as you can see here, you have a clear indication of the trend resuming when it breaks below, multiple retests to continuation down, multiple retests of these previous lows and continuation down. So when the price is trending, it is trending well. So let me add another note. When the price is trending very well. Take all the pullbacks to major, lower low, higher high, and PPLs and feed rate. Okay, we're coming to the end of June, which is also the end of this this video. Sticking to the buy bias, buy, first buy, second buy, understanding this is a shifting market structure. Not really proud of it. Okay, I should wait for this candle and then 50% taking my entry. That's what I should do in real life. Only below this level, and yeah, continuation down, and again sells and every PSA. When it matches the PPL, it's way better. Probably this one should have been over there. Let's see what is happening here. So in this case, we had a very nice look at these candles showing you weakness from buyers, and that's where you should have taken the entry at the bullish one for the continuation in sells and give you a way better TP. Then again, probably some news, some report showing you bullish strength, and we are waiting for kind of confirmation. This probably would have been the best entry for sells, and then continuation sells, pull, clear breakout, and then a retest. There's a single candle, this bullish candle over here. That's exactly the candle that I was talking about for the setup. And now again, another setup that I was just talking about is we are now shifting the momentum because we are now having a double bottom after multiple rejection at this PPL. And I don't know if the news was bullish fundamentally wise, but as you can see, we have a break, and then the bearish candle, even if it's not a single candle now, is giving you best entries. That's the best entry for bulls. Then again we have bullish momentum. Of course, now this is a bullish momentum, but I would probably should have looked for sells above here at this candle closing in the way it is. If I simply stick to my main bias, I should not have touched this one. Okay, well, coming to the PSA again, I enter at this sell, and this would have been a TP. Okay, now I see that this price is rejecting. I don't feel stupid because I'm still taking my single bias, and I'm only change bias when I'm proven wrong. So as you can see here, we now break above, and I think I could change the bias into bulls either here, understanding that the price is making higher highs and higher lows, or at the full retest of this previous PSA, and here a retest of the order block. But again, simply sticking to my sell bias, I will take 1 trade, 2 trades, 3 trades, and then this fourth trade That would be absolutely amazing as per main bias. Okay, let me take it. I'm only scalping today the pullbacks. Yeah, it's fine. Maybe now after taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades, I can risk some profits and take some buys above at this rejection, because I'm understanding the rejection, but only if I took 5 trades and I want to risk some profits. After that, apart from that, it's just shifting biases, sell at this kind of information, sell at the pullback at the PPL. Now this is a sell in the middle of the range after rejecting this previous PSA on the left hand side, goes to break even. Now we have candle confirmation with probably bearish fundamental strong for USD, candle closing below, and then enter here, retest, candle closing bearish, giving you the confirmation that price will continue bearish for possible continuation, sells, just sticking to a single bias until it's proven wrong, and then you can shift the bias if you want, over here or over there. Okay, we're now in July, and yeah, that's basically it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow.